Hello, how are you doing today? My name is Adriel. I am an American who lives in Paris. And for those of you who are returning, coming back, you've been here before, very happy to see you. Really happy that you're back. So today's video is going to be a what to wear to Paris in the winter, because I know that y'all love these videos, and also I think it's actually really helpful. I know the first time that I visited Paris in the winter, I was not fully prepared. I had the wrong coat. Let's just say when the coat got wet, the coat smelled like wet dog, and so it was a problem. And so I've learned a lot since living here, and also from when I was visiting. So what I'm going to do is share with you what you need to know about what you should be wearing when you come to Paris this winter. All right, let's get into it. So there are two things you need to know when it comes to what to wear in Paris. You need to focus on wearing items that are going to keep you warm, and then also items that are going to keep you dry, okay? These are really the only two things that you need to really be considering. When you see people walking around Paris in the winter, you're generally not going to see their outfits. You're not going to see, anything like that. You're going to see them in coats, like warm coats. You will see a lot of Canada Goose, actually. Like French people really love to wear Canada Goose jackets. The thing is, they wear them when it's like 45 degrees, which to me is just like way too warm to be wearing a Canada Goose. So, but anyway, whatever. So you'll see a lot of that. So let's start off with outerwear. When it comes to outerwear, you're going to want to have just a big coat, like a big heavy coat. You want a coat that is warm and a coat that is going to be at least water resistant or waterproof. The first time I came, had this like puffer coat that I got from J. Crew. It was perfect for the US because it kept me warm. But as I said, when that coat got wet, the coat ended up smelling like wet dog. And I'll never forget, I was on the plane and I was like, what is that horrible smell? Like I thought it was the person behind me. And then I came back to the US and then went to my parents' house maybe only a few days later. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, your coat smells awful. I was like, that's my coat? Yes, y'all, it was my coat. My coat, when it gets wet, the feathers in it like made the coat smell like wet dog. So the only way to get the odor out was not just to wash the coat, but I had to dry it in a tumble dryer. So basically, I can't really wear that coat here in Paris a lot of times during the winter, because if there is a sudden downpour, that coat can't get wet. Like it will smell horribly. So that's why I say you have to really make sure you're bringing a coat that is either waterproof or water resistant. I think that's why you see a lot of French people with the Canada Goose, because it is definitely, waterproof. So I actually wear a black Aritzia coat in the winter here. It is just a big black coat. It is plain. It has a gigantic hood. It's full of feathers. It's like, I guess, like it's full of like goose feathers, I think, but it keeps me warm. And it's also waterproof. And so that's really why I wear that coat during the winter. And so I've also worn that coat all around the US. I used to wear it when I would go skiing in Sundance or skiing in Park City for Sundance, etc. So that is my jacket that is waterproof, that is warm, and so it makes it a perfect coat for Paris. Another coat that I also tend to wear a lot is my teddy coat. I really like to wear my Max Mara teddy coat. That coat keeps me warm. That coat, however, is not waterproof or water resistant really at all. So it is definitely probably not a good travel coat, because while you will be warm, if there's a sudden downpour, you will be wet. And that's the thing about Paris. Any time of year, but particularly in the winter, it will say that there is no rain in the forecast, and then it will just rain. Like it'll just start raining and it'll rain for like an hour. So it's entirely possible to be caught out in the rain. So next thing, let's talk about your outfit. What are you gonna have on under the coat? I'm gonna be frank, it doesn't matter that much, because you're gonna have that coat on the most. You're gonna have that coat on even when you go inside. So generally, really, it's the coat that anyone's going to see. But there are some things that you're gonna wanna do to kind of ensure that you stay warm. One thing is make sure you think about your base layers. You're gonna wanna make sure that you wear base layers when you're walking around Paris. So for example, you're gonna wanna have like Uniqlo Heat Tech or long johns or tights underneath, you know, your pants or your jeans if that's what you're wearing, because that's going to just keep you a bit warmer. Another thing you're going to do is of course want to have the Uniqlo or long johns or shirt or something underneath a sweater. You're going to always want to have like wear like a base layer underneath, you know, your sweater or your shirt or whatnot, just to ensure that you stay warm as you're walking around the city. Because the thing is, when you're here visiting, you know, you're gonna probably spend a lot of time outside. You're gonna probably spend a lot of time walking around sightseeing. So you're gonna wanna make sure you have on lots and lots of layers, and you're gonna wanna make sure that you have on that base layer to keep you warm, even if you're inside. Now, when it comes to pants, I think that you're generally gonna see people here wearing denim as far as their like what they're going to be wearing in the winter. I really, as I already said, I don't think your particular outfit matters too much in the winter because it really is about being warm. But if you want to wear denim, that's cool. One tip I will tell you is that unlike the rest of the world that seems to be saying that skinny jeans are out and you can't wear skinny jeans, Parisians love some skinny jeans, okay? They love them. You will see so many people wearing skinny jeans. Skinny jeans are still in here. So let me actually show you my favorite pair of skinny jeans, because these I do not actually have to wear with base layer. These are my favorite skinny jeans. These are Madewell. I actually have numerous pairs of these. And the reason why I like them is that they are made with some sort of Japanese denim that's woven with some sort of heat material. As a result, in addition to being super stretchy, they're also super, super warm. So these jeans, I don't have to wear a base layer with them. They're just incredibly warm. What you do is you go on the Madewell website and you just look for like the denim, and it'll talk about it having some sort of thermal or heat sensitive material, whatever in it, and that's what you want. These jeans, as I said, I don't have to wear a base layer when I wear them. So actually this style particularly of Madewell jeans is the style of jeans I wear a lot during the winter. If I wear anything else, so if I wear flare or I wear straight leg or bootleg or anything like that, I definitely wear a base layer underneath it because it's just not going to keep you warm enough here in Paris. One style of look I will say that you will see a lot here during the winter is you will see people with their jeans on, whether they be straight leg or skinny jeans, and the jean will be rolled up and you'll see like this much exposed skin, and they'll have on like the crop socks with like just their tennis shoes. I personally don't understand that look because it's cold, but you'll see it a lot. I just want you to know if you see it, like that is a very Parisian look. I don't get it. I think it's cold, and like why have this much exposed ankle? Like why be bundled up from head to toe except like this much of your ankle, which is like freezing and red and like not pretty. So I don't get that, but that's a very Parisian style. So that brings me to shoes. One of the things you're going to see a lot of Parisians wear here, you will see a lot of people just wear their sneakers. They wear their sneakers all year round, and so they're going to be wearing their sneakers even when it's raining. I personally do not want my feet to get wet. I definitely had on a pair of sneakers maybe like last year in the winter, and I ended up like crossing a bridge, and halfway through the bridge, like the sneakers, I don't know what happened. I guess that was, they lived their life, and so a hole opened up on the bottom, and by the time I got to my destination, my whole foot was completely wet, and it was miserable. It was the winter, and the problem is that I have found that when you're wearing sneakers and it is cold or rainy, you have to wear just the world's thickest socks, or you have to wear 2 pairs of socks, and it's just not, it's not comfortable. So then like that's like a wet, soggy sock. So as a result, I would strongly recommend actually against the Parisian view of wearing sneakers, while you are here in Paris. And instead, I would say to opt for like a low boot or some other sort of shoe that has a waterproof sole and that is also warm. This is one example that I really want to recommend. This is a shoe by a brand called Claire Jarry. It's a French brand. As you see, this whole part is puffer, it's insulated, but then the whole bottom sole part here, this is actually waterproof. And so as a result, it keeps your foot warm and then also dry. Another option that I would recommend are these boots. These are from a brand called Cougar. I bought them at Nordstrom forever ago. And these boots, again, they are waterproof. They also have a grippy part on the bottom. They're meant for snow, but they're super cute and stylish. And so they're intended for snow. So I've worn these on the mountain and stuff. But the great thing about it is this whole bottom part is waterproof, and then the inside is full of fur. So they're super, super warm, and the outside is like this suede, waterproof type material. It's really, really a nice shoe. And so I really like it. And I think it's a really great investment if you're coming to Paris, because it's stylish, it's chic, you can wear it with a lot of things, but it's also going to keep you warm and it'll keep your foot dry. All right, last but not least, let's talk about the, everything as it relates to what you need to have on, that sort of thing. The French love a good, not the French, Parisians love a good beanie, okay? So you'll see a lot of people wearing beanie hats. Feel free to wear a beanie hat. I mean, if you want to fit in, that's cool. You'll also see a lot of women wearing the fur wraps around this way, that cover their ears. Do that. One of the things, again, that I think is very interesting is I don't see a lot of people wearing gloves here. If they do, they'll have black leather gloves, but not it's very odd. People won't necessarily be totally bundled up. I am not going to be cold, so I will be bundled up. So, wear your gloves. I would strongly recommend to wear gloves, have some leather gloves. Make sure your gloves are insulated, right, to keep you warm. Another thing that you'll see that is essential to kind of French culture is the scarf. So, of course, have, a couple fabulous scarves to bring with you that will also keep you warm, and that will just kind of finish off your outfit perfectly. If you really want to wait until you get here to get a scarf, go to Galeries Lafayette. I think it's kind of the best place to get some really cute scarves, and you'll see a lot of Parisians wearing the Galeries Lafayette scarves. A couple other things I want to note about just the styles you will see around Paris during the winter. And these are kind of going to build on some of the things I've already noted. As far as outerwear, you will see a lot of French women wearing long black wool coats that are kind of half tied, and then they have their scarf and they're walking around like that. That's a style that you will see, as I already mentioned. You'll see people still in their sneakers. That's very much a style. You'll see people, with the sneakers and the rolled up jeans so that their leg is exposed. That's very much kind of a style here. All of these things are, I would say, they are very Parisian styles, but the reason I'm not really recommending you kind of stick with them is because they aren't particularly warm. So, think about it this way. If someone is walking around with this much ankle exposed, they're probably not walking around like that all day, y'all. They probably are going to meet some friends or to hang out at a cafe, and then they'll go home, or they'll go do whatever, they'll go someplace else, right? They're not going to be doing what you would do as a tourist, which is walking around the city all day long, right? And being kind of outside and doing the sightseeing thing. So from your perspective, your goals are completely different, right? You're going about your day in a completely different way. So that's why you're gonna wanna be very cautious and mindful of maybe some things that, locals aren't going to have to think about too much. And also, this is why I'm just reiterating so many times that it's so important to focus on staying dry and staying warm, because that's really what's going to matter. It's going to make the hugest difference in your trip. There is nothing worse. I can tell you, from the first time I was here in the winter, there's truly nothing worse than being wet and cold while also trying to sightsee around Paris. So just keep that in mind, is the goal is really to be dry and warm. Okay, so there you have it. Pretty simple video, right? Pretty straightforward. What you need to wear and what you need to have in mind if you're planning to come to Paris in the winter. So definitely make sure you focus on your base layer. Make sure you focus on having nice, warm, socks that are definitely gonna keep your little toes warm, and your nice, warm and waterproof shoes. You wanna make sure you're investing in a nice, warm and waterproof or water-resistant coat. That is going to be essential. Throw on a beanie hat, put on a pair of leather gloves, and of course, don't forget your umbrella. So, with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, please let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'm always willing to help, give advice, suggestions, tips, anything like that. But as I said, this what to wear in Paris video is going to be less about particular styles you're gonna see in the street and more about, staying warm and dry. I think I've repeated enough times that everyone gets it. So there you have it. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Look forward to seeing your comments. Talk to you later. Bye.